ចានៅពេលនេះនាងខ្ញុំសូមអនុញ្ញាតស្វាគមន៍ដល់វាគ្មិនបន្ទាប់គឺលោកសៀងសុបញ្ញាដែលជាស្ថាបនិកនៃវិទ្យាស្ថានអន្តរជាតិកម្ពុជាអាស៊ានចាសូមស្វាគមន៍
Allow us to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Seang Sopagna, the founder of Cambodia ASEAN International Institute. His topic is Why a Teacher?
I am indeed honored, everybody, and glad to be invited to speak in Project Inspired. And I actually am inspired by these young people around with this T-shirt. And I'm inspired by the project leaders over here for organizing this event. Frankly speaking, it's a big pressure for me to pretend to be to speak on behalf of Cambodian teachers. It's really a very challenging topic for me to discuss this afternoon. But once again, everybody, I'd like to share with you that currently I am a teacher, and I have been a teacher for the last 20 years, and I want to be the teacher for the next 30 years. And the reason being is this. I would like, whenever I stand in front of students, like all of you here, what comes to my mind immediately is that I feel the obligation, I feel the responsibility for these young people, because I know for sure that these young people deserve a very bright future. And their bright future begins at the time when they actually start studying with their teachers in class. Their teachers may influence them a lot in their later life. Okay, so by the way, if we talk about teaching profession, it is a profession that creates all other professions. In other words, it is the mother of other professions. Now, whether you are a doctor, a scientist, or a politician, you have been trained here and there. And some of you here who, eventually come to this hall, some of you are some of the most successful youths in Cambodia. You should appreciate the times when you had with your teachers. Your teachers may have influenced your life. That's why you come to this stage. And in the future, you may be more successful than your teachers. I know that some of the teachers stay back in the countryside, for example, in their school, while you are growing in the future. And I believe that some of you here in this room in the future will become somebody as well. However, what is very unfortunate is that this great profession has been overlooked so far. And it requires a lot of stamina and patience from all of them. And today, what I'd like to share with you is the fact that teacher is a profession that everybody should value. Now, we say that we tend to know that this profession currently is being undervalued. And being undervalued, by definition, is a profession that is considered not as important as it really is. Now, how can the teachers actually play their role? Now, look at the role of the teachers in general. When I was a teacher myself, as I said, I know for sure that I have an obligation to design the life of my students. So I have a responsibility to conduct research. I have to create activities for my student to get involved. I need not only teach the student the subject of study, but I also impart the value in the students. And I also give them the vision for the future. So I am lucky to see that some of my students that I have taught so far have now become some of the successful individuals in this country. And I always think that if I have the opportunity to teach all of them, probably they will become great individuals in this society. Now, country like Singapore, country like Japan, who does not have much natural endowment, natural resources, but their economy has thrived. It becomes one of the developed economies. That's because of the quality of people they have. And that is the direct result of education. Now, the question right here is that why such an important profession is being undervalued in our society? We are living in the age where people appreciate materialism. So immediately when you want to appreciate a profession, you look at the financial wealth of that person. The more you can earn, the much appreciation you will receive. right? And people tend to measure the success of a profession by the amount of money they earn. But look at the country as a whole. Without teachers, what the country would be. Now, if we measure the success of a teaching profession by the amount of money they earned, I believe that teachers would live their whole life believing that they are stupid or they are inferior to others. But to me, this noble profession cannot be measured by the amount of money they earn. Now, anywhere in the world, we cannot actually, a teacher cannot be a very rich person. Everybody knows that. So you go to a teaching profession not to make money, but you go to a teaching profession to make a difference in somebody's life and to make a difference in the society. Now, I believe that a country that forgets teacher forgets its future. So I think that we have to start thinking of a teaching profession right now. We are not putting a blame on anything, but I think that teachers and teaching profession anywhere in the world require commitment from individual person, the person who devotes their life, for the betterment of this country, devote the life, for the younger generation. To me, whenever I see young people are doing better than me, for example, Teng Hui here is one of a very good example. They can organize these kinds of events. I am very proud of them. So this is the result of very good education. You may not acknowledge the contribution of your instructor in your life, but of course he does have, some influence on your life one way or another. Now, when I was a teacher myself, the moment I became a teacher, I felt the obligation, I felt the responsibility. At least I tell myself that I am in the position to be a role model for my citizen, for my people. I am the role model, so I have to behave myself properly in the society. I have to continuously develop myself. I have to actually get my student to learn something that I think that is worth for their future. So that is the role of the teacher in general. Now, in terms of being valued, as I said, monetary compensation for the teachers. It is the social status. Nobody would call a teacher excellency teacher, even though you have taught for 20 years. You do not enjoy that kind of status, but actually, if you do very well as a teacher, your students remember you for life. And you are the heroes in your students' heart as well. But I have to tell you, in the world, in any profession, there are some dedicated, conscientious people to the profession and those who take the profession very lightly. I don't talk about those who take the profession very lightly and then they ruin the integrity, they ruin the professionalism in this noble profession. But I talk about the teachers who are very conscientious, who cares for the future of their students. Those teachers deserve appreciation. And I have to tell you, this country is going to be a great country, depends largely on the teachers as well, because we want the teacher to actually groom students from a very young age. And if you want this society to be a great society in the future, teachers plays a very important role. I know you might have overlooked it. That's why I would like to end my speech today, everybody. I will be ready to answer some of your questions, but I would like to end my speech here with a few take-home messages for all of you. One, if you think you are good enough to become a teacher, consider becoming a teacher and a good teacher. If currently you are a teacher, I would like you to be a hero in your students' heart. And if you are not good enough to be a teacher, or you choose not to be a teacher because you earn much more than the teacher and you don't want to do that, don't look down on the teaching profession. They may not be as wealthy as you, but they teach your children. The fact that you can earn a lot of money, that's because you probably have given some time away, from your child, and you give it to the teachers. And the teachers take care of you, your child. And maybe the teachers do not directly teach your children, but they teach other people's children. So in that respect, they have shaped the society, they have shaped the future of this country. So once again, I stand by the teaching profession. I love this teaching profession. I want to share with my younger generation. So I continue to support this profession throughout my life, no matter how old I am. So I think that the older I get, the more experience and knowledge I have. I think it is always, good time to to give back to the society, to contribute. And with all of you as well, once again, I would like to encourage all of you to consider becoming maybe part-time teachers or instructor. And in the future, if you have accumulated a lot of experience, you should share with younger generation. That is the message I'd like to share with you. And I would like to end with this. If you forget your teacher, you forget your future. And if a country forgets teachers, this country forgets the future. With that, I thank you very much indeed for your attention. Thank you. Thank you.
ចាសសូមអរគុណទៅដល់លោកសៀងសុបញ្ញាចំពោះការធ្វើបទបង្ហាញ
Thank you, Mr. Seang Sopagna, for your meaningful presentation.
ចាមុននឹងសម្រាប់ទទួលទានអាហារសម្រន់យើងខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណទៅដល់ម្ចាស់ឧបត្ថម្ភធំនៅក្នុងកម្មវិធីគឺអនឡាញជាក្រុមហ៊ុនសេវាអ៊ីនធឺណិតដំបូងបង្អស់និងនាំមកគេនៅក្នុងប្រជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជា
Before coffee break, we would like to express our deepest thanks for our main sponsor, Online, the first and leading premium internet service provider in Cambodia, online in touch with your world.
ចាសម្រាប់អ្នកចូលរួមទាំងអស់គឺមានរយៈពេល15នាទីសម្រាប់ទទួលទានអាហារសម្រន់ហើយយើងខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នានឹងត្រឡប់មកវិញនៅក្នុងរយៈពេល15នាទីបន្ទាប់នេះហើយសូមកុំភ្លេចបំពេញ registration form សម្រាប់ការសមាជិករបស់ i1 ផងដែរចា
Esteemed guests and all participants, you have 15 minutes for coffee break. There are 2 exits where you will be served with refreshment. You are expected to return after 15 minutes. Thank you. You may leave. And don't forget to fill in your registration form.